Okay, y'all, Latto did an interview with The Breakfast Club, and she confirmed that she was dissing Cardi B in that song, and Cardi B has responded to Latto. So you guys know the whole situation between Latto and Cardi B. So Latto did an interview with The Breakfast Club, and she was asked whether or not was her lyrics a diss towards Cardi B.
Private, and then this line came, and the fans were like, is she talking to Cardi? What's going on? Like, everybody's trying to piece it together and figure that out.
Well, yes, yeah, it was about Cardi. Like we were saying earlier, like I rap about what's going on in my life at the moment. At the time, well, first of all, I made this album over 9 months. I made the album while I was pregnant.
She talked about being pregnant while she was doing this album, and she also talked about how she took time out of her day, rushed to the studio to do her verse for Cardi's song Every Time, because you guys know she was on Cardi's song Every Time for Cardi's album Am I the Drama.
And yeah, I was at an early stage of my pregnancy, and I rushed to the studio to do this verse for her in time for the first week sales, whatever. And
For airtime.
Yeah, for the airtime remix. And
Latto basically says, like, hey, she went to the studio, took time out of her day, rushed to the studio with that so that she could do her verse for Cardi B's song, so that Cardi B could put her album out for the first week sales. And next thing you know, she's getting called a P word online.
literally like 2 days later, I'm all over the internet, I'm being called pussy. I'm pregnant, emotions high, like,
So Latto then talks about Cardi B tweeting the apology instead of texting her, because Latto said, like, hey, we're friends, we text on a texting basis, we text all the time, so she feels like Cardi B should have texted her an apology instead of tweeting an apology.
Yeah, and it's someone I dead eyes looked at as a friend. Like, I understand this, industry shit first too, but we was on a texting basis, so I feel like, yeah, you tweeted to the world, but we got each other number.
Yeah.
You know?
So I never talked personally after that, around that.
So then, like, probably like 2 months later, something like that, she did text me, but by that time, I'm like, that ain't even.
Latto basically saying that Cardi B decided to tweet the apology instead of texting her and apologizing. And, by that time, it was like 2 months later when Cardi B texted her trying to apologize, and she really didn't care for it. And she also says that her and Cardi B haven't talked to each other since then.
That ain't even, like, I'm not even thinking about that shit no more, you know what I'm saying? So,
Have y'all spoken since then?
Since the song has
I haven't spoken since the record came out.
Would you be open to the conversation, or you just...
Yeah, I'm open to the conversation.
So Cardi B did respond to this interview that Latto did with The Breakfast Club, and Cardi B tweeted and said, I truly understand how you feel, and that's exactly why I chose to apologize publicly, because the disrespect became public. On that call, I didn't even mean to call you that. I didn't mean any harm. There's a difference in what I said versus what I meant. What I could have said was you was too forgiving and gave too much mercy in that situation, but it was a heated conversation and I let my mouth get the best of me. When the call came out, I was 8 months pregnant, had just released my album, and was extremely overwhelmed and emotional. That's not to excuse what I said, but to let you know where I was in my head. I genuinely feel bad about what happened. In 2025 and 2026, I made multiple attempts to connect. I spoke with your manager, your sister, and even texted you directly to take full responsibility. I always had love and respect for you. I always wanted to make it right, but making it right looks different for the both of us. I wanted to connect with you, but you wanted to address it on your album. Cardi B had this to say, and some people are wondering if she's still going to diss Latto, because they feel like she was hitting up the studio to diss Latto, because Partisan Fontaine, which is Cardi B's writer, he posted that Cardi B was in the studio.
When I'm lonely, baby, it's like my friends don't know me. Boy, you used to be my homie. You left me with a dream you sold me. Even the dreams get lonely.
The fuck's...
And the other day, people felt like Cardi B had this to say. She posted in her broadcast channel on Instagram and said, I really want to tell y'all that I love y'all so much. I appreciate how y'all held me down like I'm your sister, cousin, mama, friend. No need for spaces. Nah, but no funny ish. I really love how y'all held me down from the edgy to cupcakes, how we came together like that. We funny, however, mwah. Now, a lot of people felt like she pointed out the spaces part because, she likes to get on spaces and rant and say whatever she has to say. So people felt like she was going to hop on spaces and say something about Latto, but her fans, Barty Gang, handled that situation for her. Some people feel like Latto should patch things up with Cardi B like she did with Ice Spice, but some people feel like it's just a principle. Cardi B was talking trash about Latto behind her back, and it got leaked, and Cardi B tried to publicly apologize and buy her bag, but then says that Cardi B didn't reach out and apologize, or at least she didn't text her and apologize until like 2 months later, and Cardi B says that she tried to contact her 3 times, 3 different ways by her sister, her manager, and she even texted her. But I would like to know you guys' thoughts and opinions on this. Do you guys feel like Latto and Cardi B could become friends again?
Let me get this straight. Y'all want Latto to patch things up with Cardi B because she patched things up with Ice Spice? Am I the only one who heard that audio? Cardi literally said, you think I'm Latto? And that's the woman y'all want her to be friends with again? And that be our problem, because y'all don't understand the principle of things. You, as my friend, should not be talking about me like that. Cardi B, out of anybody, should know how the industry works, how fans work. Everybody wants them to beef. People love when the women rappers are beefing. Shoot, people love when the guy rappers are beefing too. Latto understands that there was nothing too personal. It wasn't that deep, like she said on The Breakfast Club. Hence why she squashed it. Cardi B took Latto being mature as being weak and then said, I'll get you a bag. I'm so sorry. Latto said, it's all right. My mama gave me a bag, a couple bags actually. I'm good. I'm cool on this friendship. Latto can forgive, but she doesn't have to befriend Cardi again. Latto putting her response to Cardi B in that rap, in that song, was honestly one of the smartest things she could have done. Now that's marketing.
Latto has confirmed that line in the song is about Cardi. Now, Latto sat down with the Breakfast Club and she discussed her album. She talked about how some of these songs came about. Lauren LaRosa then asked her, is that line in the song, the whole talking about buying me a bag, was that about Cardi? And she said, yes, it was. She discussed that it was early on in her pregnancy. She had went to the studio, did a song for Cardi, and then 2 days later, she gets on the internet and sees that everybody is calling her ussy-ass Latto everywhere. She said, yes, Cardi did go online and tweet something apologizing. She said, however, her and Cardi were really friends. She really looked at Cardi as a friend. They would text each other, and she said Cardi had her number, so she really wasn't feeling that online apology talking about a bag situation. She said Cardi then reached out to her 2 months later, but at that point, she was over it. So I kind of see where she is coming from with this situation. I am a Cardi fan. I am a Latto fan, but she is basically saying, like, look, I really looked at you as a friend. You could have cleared this up personally instead of going to the internet with the apology first and me not hearing from you for months. Now, she also discussed the whole her and Ice Spice situation. She said that Ice Spice's manager reached out to her people and said that Ice Spice wanted to work things out. She wanted to, like, get past this and try to make music, and that's how that whole situation came. Y'all, this is a mess because Latto talked about Cardi in past tense. She did say that she was open to sitting down talking with her, but she has not spoken to her since that song has come out. Y'all, once I have
responded to Latto in a very lengthy tweet, she apologized to Latto again, claiming how she understands where Latto was coming from. What's up with me is Cardi B seemed kind of irritated that Latto didn't accept her apology right off the bat. She got time to sit in it, soak in it, and decide when she is ready to proceed with a relationship or a friendship with you, girl. As messy as I am, I will say the post from Cardi B was very sentimental and was very thoughtful. She went on to say how she didn't mean to call Latto Ussy, how her mouth kind of just blurted out the words, how she should have said that Latto was giving Ice Spice too much grace. You ask me, that's just a roundabout way of saying. And on top of that, you done try to little girl her saying, oh, let me buy you a bag to make it up for you. No, baby, you need to apologize to me in private, apologize to me in public, and then surprise me with a bag. Pulling your money around when it comes to your friendship was so déclassé in my opinion. I want to say how she was 8 months pregnant when this heated conversation with Ice Spice's team took place. As we all know, throughout that time, releasing her album as well, so she was going through a lot of her personal life. Not to mention, she was probably getting cheated on by Stefan Diggs 4 nights a week during her pregnancy. I can understand what she said. She had a lot going on in her life. She saw what she was going through publicly, but I'm sure she was probably going through 3 times as much privately. Now, do I feel like Cardi B and Latto are gonna eventually make up and become amicable? Yes. Do I feel like Latto should trust Cardi B in the future? No. Me personally, this story just ties into a bigger picture who claims that they're girls be on some BS. Like, girl, how you claim you're a girl that you're mad at the next girl who you have no affiliation with? You throwing your homegirl under the bus calling her P-U-S-S-Y. Regardless if that's how you feel, you do not say that. Of this video, toward the end of Cardi B's tweet, she went on to say how she reached out to Latto's sister, how she reached out to her manager, claiming that was last year and sometime during this year, but Latto had yet to respond, but wanted to respond on her album. Like, baby girl, she can address the situation however she sees fit. You disrespected her and it became public, so she responded publicly. Now y'all need to go handle this privately and rekindle y'all